In today's Know Your Rights feature, we're going to take a look at a few things you need to know in order to have a valid auto accident claim. Catherine Stone from Barbas Law is back. I feel like auto accidents are a huge part of your practice, but there are the ones that are going to be successful and the ones that maybe need a little bit more information.
Correct. Well, for instance, I had a client come in the other day, had recently had an auto accident, and basically she didn't understand what was, in order to have a valid and successful auto accident claim, what the certain elements are. And number one is that someone else hit you and caused the accident. So we refer to them a lot of times as the at-fault driver. Okay. And so liability is the first element that you have to prove. In other words, that someone else was liable for your accident. And then the second element is going to be that you've sustained a permanent injury. And this is a lot of times where clients that come in and see me, they don't understand what that means. So for instance, this one particular client came in, she had a significant pre-existing back problem, was still treating at the time of the accident, and didn't want to basically get anything other kind of treatment after the auto accident. I explained to her it would be very hard to prove that you have sustained a permanent injury as a result of the auto accident if we don't get additional testing done and you don't have additional evaluations done to determine whether or not you have a permanent injury. And unlike slip and fall accidents or other cases, auto accidents require that you prove a permanent injury as a result of the auto accident.
Why is that? Why do you think that that's, something that you have to be able to have a successful case?
I think because there's so many different types of ways that people are hit in vehicles that over the time, I think the legislature has tried to curb tort claims again involving automobiles, and so that's just really one of the elements that they felt really you need to show with regards to an auto accident case.
And getting back on the liability, is that something just a police report is sufficient enough, or what do you need to prove liability?
Well, the insurance companies technically they'll look at both sides of the story. It's always helpful if the police come and do an investigation. They won't necessarily do a crash report if there's no injuries claimed or significant property damage. They may just do a driver's exchange. So it could get into a he said, she said, but sometimes they're so clear. Someone ran a red light. Someone blew through a stop sign. Sometimes liability is very clear. Sometimes it's not so clear as to who ran the red light or was someone turning when they shouldn't have been turning.
On the permanent injury front, like you were just talking about, what if someone's there and they have like pain and suffering but not necessarily a permanent injury? Should they not reach out to you? Or what's your advice?
I always tell clients to reach out to an attorney if you've been involved in an accident. It may not turn into anything, and you may not have a viable case, but it's always better to at least sit down and consult with an attorney who can look at your case. And it may be that they need to go a few months looking at the case and monitoring the case before they can actually give you a decision as to whether or not you're going to be successful or not.
Wow, as always, great information. We appreciate you breaking it down for us. And if you have questions at home, just give them a call, 1-800-BARBAS-LAW, or just go to barbaslaw.com/know-your-rights.